We're live. Go ahead, Elijah.
What's up, guys? Hope you guys are living your best lives today. We are coming to you live for a great event. This is going to be one of the greatest events you guys have ever tuned into when it comes to an online show. And we have quite the guest tonight. I got to say, we got some real experts, some real knowledgeable people in the real estate markets. But I hope you guys are excited. I hope you guys are pumped up for tonight's event. We got New York's 29th real estate deal night, but this is broadcasting all over the world, and we are thrilled to have you guys here. So we're going to let people kind of hop in here a little bit before we get this bad boy started. And in the meantime, we're going to have a little small talk with our expert panelists here. So David, heard you speaking about some changes that are going on within yourself, right? Within the company?
Absolutely.
New positions and stuff, right?
New positions, new horizons, I want to say, right?
Yeah.
Just like we're all getting ready to do with the new year. So for anybody that didn't hear, Alpha Funding Capital is officially back, better than ever. I was previously originating loans. I was going to all these events, representing Alpha, which I'm always going to do because it's a part of who I am. But recently I took on a new role with the company, and I'm really focusing more on the underwriting of all our long-term assets, right? So if somebody comes to us and says, I have a turnkey property, doesn't need any rehab, I'm the guy. You're going to bring it to, me or one of the originators. We're going to take a look at the deal, give you the best combination of pricing and leverage we can. And the great thing is that as I'm looking at this, I want more, just like everybody wants more. So I'm like 1 to 4 family is not enough for me, right? Just doing a simple turnkey property is not enough for me. I want to do Airbnb. I want to do multifamily up to 100 units. I want to do commercial mixed-use properties. And so slowly we're developing the programs and the products. And I got to say the progress we're making is phenomenal.
Well, I can't wait to hear about some of them when we get the event started. Excited to hear your perspective on deals. Nick, you had something you're going to say?
Yeah, I want to ask David. Hey, Dave, you guys have any products where like a person can buy for the purpose of fixing and flipping, or not even fixing and flipping, but for the purpose of fixing and then refining over to a long-term product without having to do like a totally new closing? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, so that's a common question. And right now, it's something that I would love to have, but we just don't have the capability of doing. I would say more so that there's going to be a second closing because we have to write a whole entire new loan for it. But the great thing is that let's say you start with us on the fix and flip side and you want to hold a property long term, even if it's a new construction. We could refi you in-house and give you an amazing break on prices and make sure that it's going to be affordable and definitely really, really good in your own process. Because the first thing we want to do is make sure the investors that we're working with are well equipped to take on the deals that they're approaching.
Awesome. Elijah, what's new with you? Any deals, any new deals popping up? Or Sean?
Sean, you want to go ahead and take this first? Right. First of all, Sean, are you at a live house right now? Tell us what's going on.
Oh, is that a green screen?
Where's the seller at? Are you about to log into the contract on this call?
That'd be dope if I was here. Now I'm in my garage, so this is where I work out of a lot, where I could just be in and out, So I got like my drill gun and all that stuff. I actually yesterday went and drilled out a knob for a deal I'm working on right now, so it just gives me easy access, and I find myself in that mindset of, you ever see that picture of Google where they started and Apple where they started in their garage? And yeah, this is me. This is exactly the mindset I'm in, where I'm going to make a lot of money out this garage.
Well, you have, right? You've only moved here like a few years, right? No, a few months, right?
Last year,
okay,
actually 1 year. So December was 1 year where we stayed here. So a lot.
That's awesome.
And a lot of growth, and I'm just excited to keep it going.
Cool.
Did you guys want me to pitch my deal? I mean, I do got some things I'm working on, so I'm really excited to share what I got with you guys, and hopefully it sells.
Elijah, we can't hear you.
I know. I saw that it was muted. Let's definitely ask the audience, guys. Do you guys want to hear some of Sean's deals tonight? Comment down in the comment section right now and let me know if you want to hear some of Sean's deals. You want to see what he's working on. You want to talk about the most important thing in this business, the numbers, baby. We want to talk about the numbers. So put that in the comment section and let us know. Nick?
I also want to let everybody know that's tuning in on Facebook that you have to share with us your screen name. Because Facebook has like a new restriction where it doesn't allow us to see your screen name unless you approve the share of it. So like we see a lot of people commenting, but we can't actually we don't know who's actually saying what. But thank you for joining and hi everybody.
Dave, you have something you want to say?
Me?
How you doing today, Dave?
Oh, Dave Tran.
David Tran. David
Tran? You might need to
real
call me
estate agent.
Tran, There's two Davids in the house,
I'm gonna be Zone.
David Tran. I'm feeling great. What do I have to say? I'm excited to hear the deals tonight. And I'm gonna ask a lot of questions. I'm gonna come from a perspective of, a lot of times the more questions you ask, the more people learn. So I'm gonna be asking a lot of questions, basic, expert questions, and I'm definitely gonna be asking the other David how to get financing for these deals.
Awesome.
I love it. All right. We got a lot of people tuned in here with us live right now. We literally have people. I want to do a quick toll here before we get this event started. We are going to start here in a few seconds. I want you to comment in the comment section right now and let us know where you're tuning in from. Okay. You coming from Philadelphia? If so, let us know what neighborhood you're from. You coming from New York? You in the Bronx, Brooklyn? Let me know where you're tuning in from. Texas, Arizona, Chicago, Philadelphia, Jersey. Comment in the comment section right now. This is where we're going to be doing all of our networking. This is how we're going to stay active. This is how you guys are going to be able to ask your questions about some of the deals. And this is how we're going to be able to answer some of those questions. So please make sure you're active in the comment section. And the way to get that started is let me know where you're tuning in from. I'll start. I'm in the greatest city, one of the greatest cities in the entire universe, in the entire galaxy, Jersey City, New Jersey. Sean, where are you tuning in from? You're muted.
I am tuning in from Philly, guys.
Real estate agent, David Tran.
I'm from Philly as well.
Philly in the house. And we got David Zone.
I gotta say, the second best city on the East Coast, Asbury Park.
Okay, I love it. I love it. And Nick Tang?
Jersey City.
There we go. All right, we got a lot of people commenting. So once again, guys, if you guys are just tuning in, comment down below. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We got Amos coming from Brooklyn. Someone from Facebook saying, hey, everyone. Someone else from Facebook saying, what's up, boys? We love our Facebook people. Definitely let us know your name when you comment just so we can address you properly. Anthony's in the house from Brooklyn looking for some deals. Anthony, you are on the right call for tonight. Nicole, what's up, Nicole? She's in Belford, New Jersey. How can I get onto the main live? Yeah, Nick, how can people get onto the main live if they got a deal? Let's say people got a deal they want to pitch.
Oh, yeah. If you have a deal, you got to email us and let us know so that we can give you access. We're taking turns putting on, allowing people to present deals. Right now, it's Sean's going to go up first. Then after, it's going to be another Sean. And then after that, it's going to be Elijah. But Nicole, if you got a deal, email us. Email me right now.
Yeah, she has a deal. Email me, Nicole, and I'll send it over to Nick.
Email Elijah, and then he's going to forward it to me. And then from there, I'll give you the login. So that way you can also participate if we have time.
Send me a pics, address, and any numbers you have on it, if possible.
Also, guys, this is being recorded, so it's going to be broadcasted on my YouTube channel. And so, and it's, I have over a few thousand people on that channel. So what's going to happen is if they're not watching it now, they'll watch it later. And so, whatever traffic you can potentially get is not just the immediate traffic of the people that's on here now. Because it's going to stay on YouTube, it's going to, people are going to watch it for the next 24, 40 hours or a week or so. My point is there's an opportunity to get a lot of leads if the deal is right. So you want to present on this whenever possible. This event actually, I think is actually better than even the in-person one, only because it's being broadcasted not just in New Jersey people, New York people, PA people, but also in 10, 15 other major cities. I have it broadcasted in the United States.
Yeah, so the exposure is much more. And what would you say is one of the biggest secrets to raising money, Nick?
Raising money or selling your deal? This is deal night, right?
One of each. How about we do one of each for the people? Come on.
Raising money is exposure. You got to talk, and people got to consistently see you, so that they trust you, right? Because raising money has a lot to do with relationships, even buying. So, as a person buying a property from you, as an investor, like, I want to be able to see that you're constantly pitching a deal. So, if not today, the next one, the fact that you consistently show up as a pitcher allows me to see you as someone. Hey, you know what? This guy probably knows what he's doing. Or even if the deal doesn't make sense, I still want to build a relationship with you. So that way, if you do get a really good deal, I get it first, or I get in on. I'm able to get in on it before everybody else.
I love it. You heard it live from Nick Tang there, ladies and gentlemen. So listen,
So
if you
it's
guys got a deal,
yeah,
right? Yeah, the consistency of just being in front of people, the exposure, and speaking your truth, and going over the deals, baby. So if you guys got a deal, you want help looking at a deal, or you need you want to pitch one tonight, email me, ElijahBarber@tristatemixer.com. That is on the screen. And with that being said, we ready to get started? Nick, you ready?
yeah.
John, you ready to get this started? David, Tran, you ready?
Yeah, it makes me think that we're all live. It makes me like afraid to pick my nose or anything, you know. I'm
Just
kidding.
come out on the screen.
Just come.
Well, don't worry. If you do pick your nose, thousands of people are going to see it, so it's all right. We still love you.
Makes you famous. Makes
It's
you
only a
instant
problem
famous.
once it gets millions.
We still love you. And David's own, you ready?
More than ready. Let's go.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, put your seatbelts on. We are super excited to have you a part of tonight's webinar. My name is Elijah Barber. I'm going to be your main host for this evening. We have deal night tonight, and some of you are probably wondering, what is deal night? Well, listen closely. Imagine an event that you can come to, and let's say you're brand new. You have no idea how to look at a deal. You have no idea how to find deals. You're going to get to see live and in action people who have deals that are under contract. They went out, they found the seller, they built that relationship, they put that property under contract. You're going to get to see them come on stage on this webinar and pitch this deal live to everyone that's watching it. Not only live, but for those of you guys watching the replay, you guys can also still reach out to the people that are pitching, start building that relationship. And if you're interested in the deal, you can act on the deal. So if you're brand new, by the time that we finish this event, you're going to get to hear how real investors are analyzing the deals. Do the numbers make sense on a deal? What's some of the due diligence process to a deal? Okay, we're going to be going over all that with real live deals on this call. And last but not least, we have a gentleman here who is writing so many loans every single month. Okay, and you guys are going to get to hear how an underwriter actually values a deal to see if it's something that they're willing to lend on. And so this event is by far one of my favorite events. You get to meet real A players in the business. And more importantly than anything, it's really coming together as a community. It's reviewing opportunities together, talking about risk, and figuring out ways to just execute. Because if an opportunity doesn't make sense, it doesn't mean that the deal's dead. It actually is a new way, right? It forces you to look at a new way to potentially put the deal together. This way it can make sense for people that want to get involved with it. So this event is a lot of fun. This event makes a lot of money for people that are pitching deals, people that are selling deals. And more importantly, if you're experienced, right, you're here because you want to buy. You're looking for a good opportunity so you can buy because you have money, you got the contractors, and you want to purchase something. Well, this event is also perfect for you because you're going to get to hear deals live and in the moment. And if it makes sense for you, definitely reach out to the wholesaler, reach out to the person who's selling or, putting the capital together and talk about the opportunity. So with that being said, we have a few deals that we're going to be going over tonight. We got a deal in Philadelphia. We got one in Jersey City. We got one in Brooklyn, I believe. And Nicole looks like she has a deal. We'll find out where that is. So we got about 4 deals. It's 7:45 right now. We're going to wrap this up ideally before 9 p.m. just to respect everyone's time. And we're gonna learn a lot today. So it's going to be a groovy time. So before we get into kind of starting this event and getting into the deals, I want to get into introductions of everyone who's on the screen right now so you guys can know who they are. So let's start off with Sean first. Sean, introduce yourself. Say what's up to the audience. Let them know where you're from and what you're all about.
What's up, everyone? My name is Sean Radiant Sun. I have been dabbling in the real estate market for about 5 years now. I would say a majority of that I focus more on wholesaling. I am currently now just really trying to transition myself into becoming a buyer. Um, I didn't realize how hard it could be, but I love learning from the buyers that I sold a lot of my wholesales to, because I always went in with the mentality where, you know what, let me just stay in my lane and not try to do what others are doing, because they're doing it because they're capable of doing it. I'm not in that position yet. Let me just focus on what I could do for myself right now where I'm at. And it's a beautiful thing, because a lot of my buyers now are assisting me and educating me on what it takes to become a real investor, So yeah, guys, I meant that's my story in a nutshell. I'm just trying to master this craft of wholesaling and eventually transition to buying my own deals.
Love it. Thank you so much for that intro, Sean. We're excited to have you part of this panel tonight. Let's go next to the real estate Asian, David Tran in the building. David, say what's up to the audience.
What's up, everybody? It's David Tran. First of all, I'm looking at Sean's garage here, and I'm like, I smell a deal. It just looks like a good deal coming my way. When you know a deal, when you see it, you're just like, yo, that's gonna be a deal. And it looks like a deal coming. Well, I've been a little bit about myself. I'm a computer engineer. I graduated, and I went straight to real estate investing because I realized that most of the wealth came from real estate. Why not learn investing in real estate young? I wanted to be like an expert before I got 40, because I figured that people that are investing are someone that usually, make a lot of money, and when they retire, they start investing. To me, at that age, it was always about, wow, if I got to learn before everyone else, before I even had money, I would be the expert for people that's investing their whole life savings into real estate. So that's what got me started. I started in 2005. I started buying at Temple University in Philadelphia. Started with mixed use properties, commercials. And then from there, I started a property management company. I managed a couple hundred units. I trained a lot of people along the way. And, I even started back then cheap real estate. I did wholesaling. I did everything real estate just to become the real estate agent that I am today. That's a little bit about myself, man.
Dude, we are super excited to have you anytime. You got such amazing energy, brother, and appreciate all your knowledge and wisdom that you're going to be sharing with us today. So thank you for being a part of this.
Thank you.
All right. And up next, David Zone from Alpha Funding Capital. Say what's up to the audience and introduce yourself, please.
What's up, everybody? I appreciate you having me here. Nick, Elijah, Sean, Dave. I mean, I'm in a company of greatness right now, and I really do appreciate that. And the reason I feel like I could say greatness is because I started with Alpha almost 3 years ago. And one of the first things that I was told to do was go to the Tri-State Mixer, go to the deal night, go to the pitch night. I met Elijah, I met Nick, amongst a lot of other people. And I got to say that from that day, a lot of my education, a lot of my benefit, a lot of who I am now has been at the benefit of this group, and networking, socializing, getting to know one of them and what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are. Admitting to myself what my weakness is. And it's always been, I guess, being afraid to take that jump. But I've been working on myself and been doing everything that I can. And now I'm underwriting loans for this group called Alpha Funding Capital. We're a private lender. We want to focus on fix and flips, new construction, anything along those lines, anything that we really want to talk about in terms of acquisition for rental properties as well, refinance, cash out refinance. So we have all the products, and I like to say that I'm well-versed enough to at least give you enough information to hopefully make you successful. And if I can't get you that information, I luckily can rely on my team and the people here to help back me to get you where you need to be.
Loving that intro. Alpha, they're a great group of guys to work for, especially for any of your financing needs. So super excited to have you on this call as well, and excited to just hear kind of your perspective and what you see as like, good deals, especially when it comes to some of the deals that are going to be presented today. So thanks for being here with us, brother.
Thank you for having me.
And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, the man in the all white with a car collection in the background greater than you've ever seen. Okay, the one and only Nick Tang. Nick, say what's up to the audience and let them know who you are, brother.
I'm clearly a car enthusiast, right? I grew up drawing it, and I fell in love with it. As time went by, I ended up buying a lot of them. But outside of that, I love real estate. It's real. Like I've done a lot of business throughout my life since I was 17, 18. But I think real estate is probably the most easy business that I've done because it's consistent. It's more consistent in a lot of things I've done, and because it's consistent, you can make patterns out of it, and because there's a pattern, you can scale it with working with the right people and grow into a big business. As for why I'm on tonight, I'm actually on to hear the deals that are presented at the same time, moderate whenever necessary, and I'm looking forward to seeing some good deals that we can potentially buy or help you make it into a great deal.
All right, thank you very much, Nick. So listen, guys, we have to do this if you guys want to start this off right. If you want to get this deal night started, if you're ready to hear some deals tonight, I need you to drop it down in the comment section right now and let me hear how pumped up you are. Let me get a "oh yeah" down in the comment section right now. I need to see hundreds of comments. Even if you on this recording, you better drop the comments of "oh yeah." I'm going to come back and watch all of the comments. So drop it down below. Let me get the "oh yeah" if you're fired up for tonight's deals, and we are ready to get this thing started. But I need to see the comments. Come on, here we go. Nicole saying woohoo. Rasheen is saying, "Oh yeah, where the rest of y'all at? Keep them coming." Oh, here we go. They flying in. Keep the energy rolling, baby. We're gonna have this good energy all night tonight. Okay, loving the vibes, loving the energy. Thank you guys for participating. With that being said, Sean, let's start this off. You're the first deal for deal night.
All right, great. All right, let's just hop into this, guys. I know that there's a lot of deals, so can I share my screen?
I'm gonna see. Let's see. So
do I need to stop sharing mine? All right, I stopped sharing mine.
Now, how did you share your screen?
You just click down below in the settings.
Okay. There you go, Sean. Okay, I see it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Whoa.
All right, that's trippy. All right, how about now?
Yeah,
better.
Good.
All right, cool. All right, guys. Here is my deal. These tabs, I'll run across it as we progress in this deal. I'll try to make it quick and straight to the point. My email is below, so right here. So if you guys have any questions, just email me after. All right, here we go. So 2931 North Bailey Street, Philadelphia, PA 19132. It is located in the West Allegheny section of Philadelphia. I'm asking $85,000. It's a 3-1, 900 square feet. It's tenant occupied, really long-term tenant. She's been there for 40 years. She was friends with the owners. Her mom was friends with the owner, who's currently now. So she's paying $725 currently, and it was last increased in 2018. So that definitely shows room for a increase right there. Just to point that out. So let's get into the pictures. Here we go.
Wait, before you get there, what's the market rent like there?
Oh, it's actually in here. I have a renometer snapshot in here for you guys. So we'll get to that too. How do I share these pictures now? Okay. All right. So my first slide was a quick recording of what the neighborhood looked like. But I also have a tab in here where we could do like a quick street walkthrough as well. So
make your screen bigger on there.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just my screen or can we make this bigger?
Here we go.
Much better.
Okay. So here's the living room.
Are there no lights in this room?
It's got electrical issues.
You guys can see it clear, right?
Yeah, no, it's clear. It's clear.
Okay.
We're just saying it's a dark picture. That's all. You probably took it at night, right?
Well, her house was it was during the day, but she has curtains and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So that's what made it kind of dim. But this is the living room. From the stair view. Again, she's been there for 40 plus years, so she really loves the house. Dining room. Let me know if I'm going too fast. That's like a hallway / kitchen into the kitchen. That's a little.
Can you zoom into that kitchen? Yeah, I just want to see what the passageway is like. There we go.
Are those dollar bills on the wall? What's on the wall?
No, it's like a marble kind of reflection.
Got it.
Or stone.
Dollar bills.
Looks like
I
dollar
see the
bills. to
money.
me.
I see the money, Sean.
I see the money, baby. Come on.
So here's the kitchen area. Leads out to the backyard.
Wait, so this little back like patio section is the kitchen?
Yeah.
And that wall that's right there on the left, the brick wall, do we know what kind of wall that is?
It's low bearing, so it
Okay.
definitely can't get tapped into. So I would say, honestly, if you go back into the entrance of the kitchen, this wall right here would be ideally beneficial to blow out to expand it a little bit more.
What's on the other side of that wall?
Right here is just the dining room,
Okay.
which I'll go back to right here.
Hmm.
Oh, it's not low bearing. I did have that checked, so you have the option to blow that out.
I mean,
It
she
seems
lived
like
there for 40 years.
right there, Sean, where the oven is, it's like another part of the house. It seems like the house actually ends on the left side of the oven, and then this is like a small back wet room or like patio or something.
Right, like an extension or something, right?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
give like
yeah,
an
yeah.
addition.
By the way, for those of you guys that are watching the live or even the replay, if you guys have questions, put them down in the comment section like ASAP. As soon as you have the question, put it down in the comment section. We want to get all your guys' questions answered over the deal. So put them in the comment section and we'll pull them up to get those answered for you.
So the day I was there, she was cleaning the basement, so don't let the water and stuff. I thought it was crazy that she was trying to clean the basement anyway, but hey, it shows how much she loves the house. If you look at the far left on the floor, she had some of the piping replaced. So they just never recovered and did like the cement work. Panel.
When you say
Yeah.
she, are you talking about the tenant or are you talking about the landlord?
No, the tenant. She actually does like to fix the house as she sees fit, surprisingly.
Okay,
to
so she
summer,
pays for it?
Yeah, she pays for it out of pocket. Like the living room carpet, she said she replaced probably like 3 or 4 times.
Well, in a period of 40 years, though, right? She's been there for 40 years.
Yep. So she really loves the house. She doesn't mind dumping money into it.
Yo, I think you should sell her this house, bro.
I was literally about to say that.
Right. That was actually an option. So I meant I was going to get into how I found it. I actually got it from a good friend of mine. This is Miss Pat. That's the 40-year-old tenant. She's amazing. But I got this from a friend of mine who also wholesales. He was out of town, so he asked if I could tackle this for him and stuff like that. He actually may be on. Shout out to Jabbar Fairweather. If you guys may or may not know him, he's like the master of Philly when it comes to wholesaling.
I've heard of Jabbar. I've never met him.
He loves cryptocurrency, from what I hear.
This is the small room, the third room, second room. I'll go into the second room now. That's the second small room. The middle room, I guess you would call it. And then the back. So does this look like an extension to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see
Question,
it. Yeah.
Does the house on the left have that same piece, that extension, and does the house on the right have that same extension, or
I'll
not?
be honest, I don't recall.
Okay.
I don't recall looking. So here's the renometer. Nikki was asking what is average around here at the moment. So renometer.com, guys, if you're not familiar with it, it's a really great way to see what the average rent is in a particular area. All you gotta do is just go to the website, punch in the address, label if it's a 3-1 or 3-2, the bed bath count, and then it will give you an average of what it's collecting in that area. So it's definitely below average, as you can see. If this is saying 1146 in rent, a lot of room for improvement. So I think that's the last clip that I have.
So-
Can you go back to the numbers, the sheet with all the numbers?
Yeah, let's go back to that.
What's the
So
ARV on this thing?
Right. So something that really excited me a lot was at the time of me locking this up, right next door, 2933 was on the market, and it was listed for like 151, I think 152. And last week it settled. When I double checked it, it settled and it ended at 142.5. So
Wow.
it was really great signs that, man, there is a lot of, I mean, people are coming in and doing things in this area. It's a really great area to start developing. Here is a snapshot of the area from a map perspective. I like it because it's actually not too far from Fairmount Park, Kelly Drive, if you can see right here. This is where Kelly Drive is. If you guys aren't familiar with Kelly Drive, the art museum, that whole strip along the river where Rocky runs the steps and stuff. So you're
Wait,
not
where's your house to where Rocky ran?
right here. This is the house. It's far from where the steps are, but Kelly Drive itself is not a far distance from where they can go park and, you know, be next to the water and, you know, river and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
So
Is that a mile? Is that 2 miles? What's the distance like?
I'd say less than 10 minutes.
Nick's
Okay.
getting ready to run that tomorrow, so just be warned.
I do it every night, bro. I run every night.
So here is a visual. If you were to go through Google Maps, I always like to do this just to see what the curb appeal is. I know that it does run June 2019, so I meant we're behind 2 years, but it looks exactly like this. I always like to see what the neighboring houses have to see how they take care of their curb, and it's really inviting. I love seeing plants and everything. When I went to the street and introduced myself to people like neighbors and stuff like that, I found that it's a lot of homeowners in this particular block. So that was good signs of home ownership as well. This is the house that sold, settled, I don't know, less than a week ago at 142. And then also, when I looked, I did some comps as well, guys. There is something like down the street, if I pull up this map, that is listed for 150. No, that's sold for 156. This is sold for 142. This sold for 110. This one that sold for 40 is a as is. So it definitely was boarded up. If you went in, structural stuff is going on. But when I pulled up what the area is going for, I think it's amazing. Like this one, 182, active, So I meant there's a lot of good excitement just around this house. I pulled up other things like this 65. It's a corner property, but I meant it's pretty much bare. You have to go in and do a lot of investments in there. So that's not like a turnkey opportunity. So I just wanted to include what was active at the moment too. Here's another house that's on the market for 145. Here's another one that's boarded up for 59. I wanted to show you guys what the market is giving you as is too versus what I'm giving you guys as well. And I think it's a pretty awesome deal that I have in my hands right here. And what excited me the most is the fact that next door sold for 142.
Yeah, that's a great comp. I mean, in the real estate business, when you can have the house, Nick, you're muted, by the way. When you can have the house right next door as a comp, that's always great data. Nick, you had something to say?
Is it exact like kind property?
So 2933 North Bailey, I was really surprised that it actually sold.
Can we pull it up?
At 142 for the simple fact that they turned it to a 1.5. Yeah, you can pull it up. I could pull it up probably.
Yeah, you pull it up for us.
Yeah. Let me see.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now too.
Oh, it's right here. Perfect.
Is it big enough? Can you guys see it?
Yeah, you make it a little bigger. Yeah,
make it bigger. Yeah,
this is right next door. Again, the excitement when it sold, you guys. I wish you guys were all with me. I was jumping through the roof. But yeah, I mean, they did it. I'm gonna say they did it not like a full renovation, but they focused on certain things. The finishes could have been a lot better,
Oh wow, you could see it right there. You could see the ceiling.
You can see the ceiling. So I mean, if you go in depth, like the paint could have been a lot better.
Did they do one color throughout the whole?
That kitchen is like a world of a difference.
Yeah. So if you guys remember our kitchen,
It's actually a kitchen.
they blew out the wall. that was
Right.
probably here. Same thing similar to the one next door, my deal. So this kind of, I'm glad they did it because it gives you a perspective of what that could look like. And then on the simple fact that there isn't no bump out here, and ours do have a bump out. So they did add a half bath on the first floor. This is what the half bath is. That's it right there. That's the upstairs bathroom. Yeah.
So
All right.
it looks like if you're gonna buy it for fix and flip, you gotta buy it for less, because the amount of work that I think needs to go into the house to make it look like this, it's probably like 70 grand.
Yeah.
Right.
Ideally, my property won't be a fix and flip until the tenant moves out. And honestly, she loves the house. She's been there for 40 years. So it's kind of like one of them things where when she does move out, you have a big opportunity in front of you. Considering the fact that everything's going on right now, it ideally would only appreciate. Not that you need to bank on that, but I meant there is a nice way for you to develop a BRRRR strategy here. You will, as an investor, have to go in, and ideally do some investor work. But I actually learned a lot from this deal in particular because I had it sold to a buyer, and the buyer was brand new as well, right? So she was in a place where she worked, saved, had a lot of capital, and she wanted to get into investing. And what I learned from that experience was that a buyer has to actually go in and do some investor work, get the lease in order, raise the rents and stuff like that. And that was kind of like her challenge in what she wasn't used to, and from that experience learning, I took a lot of expectations that she needed, and I kind of tackled it a little bit here and there. And I didn't at the time want to tackle it because, as a wholesaler, I focus on finding a good deal and just selling it. The investor ideally would have to go in and do some type of investing work and get it to their standards. But in hindsight, the universe was able to bless me and actually give me some time to kind of just work on it myself, for the simple fact that the seller, she's an older lady in her late 70s. She ended up going to the hospital. I've been in communication with the granddaughter in assisting with the sale of the house. And the granddaughter went through something with her father-in-law. So I've been given some time to work on, getting certain items. And even within that time frame, I asked myself what it would look like for me to purchase it. So I mean, ideally, I want to stay and discipline myself because I do want to wholesale this. But I was able to use this as a way to actually see what I'm made of. And I was able to raise the money to purchase it, to close on it fully 100%. And yeah, I mean, it was just an awesome experience. And I want to thank that buyer. I'm not sure if she's listening, but I learned a lot from her on what it actually takes to, make a house purchase from, expectations that she wanted.
Yeah, so what you're saying is that you were working with a buyer, and what she taught you was what it felt like and what you had to do to become an investor like her. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I got you.
But as of right now, the deal's still available.
The deal is still available, guys.
And you're looking for someone to come by.
Yes.
All right. So, Nick, anything before? We got a few questions here from the audience, then maybe we can run through the judges.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So let's go here to the audience, guys. If you guys have any questions, we got to keep this rolling here. Drop the questions now. So Nicole says, but the tenant is living there. Would you recommend renovating or doing updating with the tenant there? David Tran, you want to?
I would say that my first question would be the lease. When does it expire?
So there really isn't no present lease at the moment. The seller, again, is like in her 70s, and she's kind of been riding this out kind of like on a month-to-month basis.
Mm-hmm.
And I have communicated with the granddaughter to get a lease present. I mean, not just for the security of, the new buyer, but also so that the tenant has documentation to prove that she could be present there.
Okay, so you are getting a lease, correct?
I am getting a lease, yes.
Okay, you're gonna get a month-to-month lease or a yearly lease?
Um, Most likely I was going to try to do a yearly lease.
Okay, so that means that if you need to fix the place, it has to be 1 year later. And you know, for me, when I look at this property, I wouldn't do a fix and flip. I would just keep it the way it is and just collect rent. Some, especially when someone's been there for 40 years, they're treating that like their own home already. What I might do is maybe, you know, she's been there for 40 years. I'm pretty sure when you're there for 40 years, what happens is that you're stuck at what that property used to worth. I bet you if she do want to buy it, she want to buy it for like a $500 or $5,000. That's usually the case because you just been there so long. I would rent it out, try to rent up, trying to increase the rent. If I want to, I would talk to him about if I renovate the kitchen or the bathroom or if there's any leaks to see if I get the rent up like $100 or anything like that. The next thing I would do is does she have any children?
She doesn't have no children.
It's just her.
It's just her, but she does house. She had the other 2 rooms. One is for the nephew, and then the nephew has 2 daughters. So when they come visit, they have a place to stay.
I might want to talk to the nephew and see if I get him an FHA loan. You know, that would be something I would do later on. I mean, I would work out something with them if I buy it cheap enough. I would just hold it and collect it and get cash flow, because when the rent is below market, I know number one, 40 years is a little below market, $800. I'll rent it lower, but during times like this, I want a solid tenant that knows the area, that wants to be there, and I already have it. I don't need to look for anyone else. And so when you talk to her, did she feel like she was a cooperative tenant?
Very cooperative. She's a sweetheart. She loves the
Okay.
lad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent probably like 5-6 settings with her, and
Okay.
yeah, I think she's awesome.
Okay, so the first thing I would do, right, for this deal is I would analyze to see if, like I said, if I usually there's different ways to invest. Like if you renovate it, you want to max out the rent, but I don't want to do that for this situation because then it would cost me more money, even if I have to get like a loan, unless you just into fix and flip. But this doesn't match the fix and flip criteria due to the amount, and you got to find contractors. This is already done. It's pretty much a plug and play, and you might want to repaint it if you want to do some light kitchen work. You might go get a refinance later with a higher rent. I think that would be a better option for this deal, especially coming in right now. What I would ask David, what's the mortgage like? I know he has different types of loans out there for something for 85 grand.
That's definitely a great question, and a lot of people have asked that as well. They're saying that, David, if they were to buy this and the current tenant's paying the $725, maybe you can get it up to $750. What are the numbers going to look like, and is this something that you guys would lend on?
Right. So I want to start off just by saying thank you to David because he kind of did outline the most important part. This cannot be viewed as a fix and flip. Nick said it. You know, you're going to need $70,000 worth of work. If you're buying this for 85 and putting in 70, what's the total there? Right? 155. What did the next door sell for? 142. You're automatically losing money. Right? Now you could fix it up to refi it later. But you're also going to be leaving money in the deal. Let's say you put like 30 grand in there. You could also fix it up, make it a little nicer, maybe blow out that one wall and repaint a little bit, and hopefully, you know, get a higher paying tenant. A lot of it comes back to, at the end of the day, are you going to keep your tenant there? And, you know, if you do keep them in there, are you going to raise the rents? So going back to the initial question that you asked me, Elijah, at 725, could this be profitable? Let's say you put 20% down, which is the going rate for, you know, top tier credit, you know, making sure everything looks nice. You have the potential to make 17% monthly over your expenses, right? That's assuming the taxes that we saw, 452, are correct, and insurance is going to be around $1,000 a year.
Wait,
Right,
how much were taxes?
Yeah, taxes
Sure.
are cheap. I think like they're like $1,000.
1,000. So I saw 452 on the 2933. You could correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Yeah,
'Cause that's
it
an
is
important
400
number when looking
something.
at this.
It's 400.
Yeah, it's only 400
Oh crap!
Taxes are 400, bruh.
Yeah.
Come on,
a year, not a month, a year.
annually.
Annually.
Oh
It's
my
crazy.
god! Retire me now. Sorry, David. Go ahead.
I think it was 452 to be exact. That's what I saw on the sheet at least. But a lot of it's going to go off the assessment as well, right? When's the last time this property was assessed, and what's the going tax rate? But just making those assumptions, right? The best case scenario for this would probably be finding a private lender who would give you 80%. And when I say private lender, I don't mean coming to us, because our floor for loan total would be 75,000. 80% of 85,000 would be 68,000. Right, so we'd be just below that threshold, unfortunately. But that being said, this is still a pretty solid deal. And even if you're only at $725 a month, which is what the tenant's paying now, you're still making enough money to have a little bit of cash in your pocket. Then let's say you get it up to, let's say, maybe an $800. You're making almost 30% a month above your expenses.
Hey, David, do you think you can do the math for the audience to see how you broke that down? You said 30% a month. You think you can do quick math?
Quick math would be tough, but I'm gonna assume kind of the worst, right? Actually,
Sean, type in what he's saying. So do the math for everybody, Sean.
All right, so we're gonna do the math, right?
All right,
we're gonna take.
By the way, we gotta wrap this up in like 3 minutes because we got another group of guys.
All right, let's do this in 3 minutes.
All right, so pretty much we're gonna take the rental income on a monthly basis. All right, so let's assume 800. All right, we're going to divide that by all of your monthly expenses, right? What are your monthly expenses? It's going to be $452 on taxes, and then $83 a month. Oh, I'm sorry, it's $452 divided by 12. So what is that? $37.66 plus $83 in taxes. So let's call it 110 or 120
for taxes and insurance.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're going to get a number of 6.66, right? That's roughly, you multiply that by you put that into a percentage, right? So that's 66.6%. And that's how much money you're making over your expenses on a monthly basis.
Lovely.
It's a super basic number. It's not an exact science. I built myself a whole entire calculator to get everything. And all you guys would need to do to find out what this is you could type in DSCR calculator. That's DSCR calculator. There's a lot of sites online. Some of them are built differently. You put your value of your property. You put an anticipated interest rate in there. It takes everything into consideration: taxes, insurance, any other expenses that you might have. Maybe you're paying for snow removal, maintenance, and it'll give you how much profit you're going to actually make. Anything under 1, you're losing money. 1, you're breaking even. 1.1, you're making 10% over your expenses every month.
Wonderful. All right, David Tran, let's let this be the last question here. Steve's asking, does the property tax increase in Philadelphia based on the purchase price?
No.
To answer the question, what would make the taxes are $452 here? What would make the taxes go up?
When they reassessed it, but they already assessed it. And usually if the area is going up, gentrifying, they look at the interior photos if they can't get inside, and they have a formula that they're based off of. But that already happened, so I guess it's staying around 452 right now.
There you go. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this one up. Sean, he does a lot of business in Philadelphia, so if you guys are looking to build a portfolio, you're looking for someone that you can call up to help run numbers on, deals on, and more specifically, if you're interested in this deal particularly. Sean's email's on the screen. You guys can reach out to him. Sean, thank you so much for that presentation, and panelists, thanks for the breakdown.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for listening.
By the way, I didn't say I would say what I would do. I would just buy it and resell it to her, bro. That's what I would do. I would help her become.
You know what? I'm be honest. I tried to sell it to her.
Yeah. Well,
I tried to sell it to the granddaughter. She said, "No, Sean, it's a family thing."
Well, once you own it, you can sell it.
Right. But she doesn't want to deal with it. And then the tenant, she doesn't have no money. She actually offered $30,000 to buy it, which
no.
You do have money. $30,000.
No, you could do 2 or 3K through or FHA loan, and you can do seller's concession to give her the down payment money.
You're saying I buy it and then sell it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I raised the money already, so
because her monthly payment could accommodate $125,000 loan.
right.
So it would work. I've actually bought houses in like similar condition. I've had tenants that lived there for a period, and then I was gonna sell it, and the tenant actually ended up buying it. They were like, "Can we buy it?"
And another thing is, Sean, when she said she wanted to buy for 30,000, she's assuming that she never got. I'm pretty sure she never got a loan in her life, a mortgage. So she doesn't even know that after she gets a loan, she'll be paying less per month in rent or mortgage.
Yeah.
She doesn't even know. You have to break down the math. Just
You're right.
break down the math.
Hey guys, you better buy this soon before I do the ideas.
All right, Sean. Thanks so much, bro. I'm gonna bring in the
Thanks,
next
Sean.
group of guys. Thank you.
Who we got up next? Who's up?
All right. It's the funny part is it's another team, right? And
What up, Rashawn?
wait.
How are you?
And one of them is also named Sean. So
Sean Thrower.
Rashawn.
Sean is a popular last name. Guys, introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I'm Arnhem.
Hey, how are you, bro?
Part of Block. Good. Part of Block Builder Properties. I'm the VP of Acquisitions, and Sean is. I'll let Sean introduce himself.
Good evening, everybody. Rashawn Thrower. I'm the VP of Marketing and Construction and Resale.
Guys, I want to apologize that you guys were waiting so long because I told you guys not to come on until 8 for a reason. Because we always run a little bit over time. But pleasure to have you. Elijah, you want to start with the questions that you may have?
No, let's get into the deal. You guys got how you guys gonna present the deal?
So I'm going to share my screen.
Perfect. By the way, I'm a big fan of how you guys broke that down. That was clean.
Thanks.
Nick, they're gonna share their screen and we're just gonna run through the deal.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Let me add it. I guess this is it. No, that's not it. I don't know how you guys have been doing this.
Who you talking to?
Arnhem. I'll be sharing my screen.
Okay, yeah, Elijah, how'd you share your screen before? Where'd you go?
Just down on the settings on the bottom of the screen, you should have an option to share.
All right.
Because it's not me.
All right, I will share my entire screen. You can see this now.
There we go.
There we go.
The PDF document.
Perfect. Yep.
Is Brooklyn in the house?
Say what?
Brooklyn's in the house.
Excellent. So this deal that we have is, if you're familiar with Brooklyn, this is 708 Ashford in Brooklyn. This is like a half a block away from the train station. So extremely good in terms of location. East New York, it's growing. This is really the next hot spot for Brooklyn for several reasons. But I'm going to jump into the numbers and talk a little bit more about it because that's what I get excited about. So I'm going to jump into the numbers, but this is probably the smallest little house that you've ever seen anywhere, much less Brooklyn, where everything is a little bit grander, a little bit larger than life. But our property is right here in the middle. Now, don't let that scare you. You see the houses next to it in large. This lot is in great shape. The house itself, not so much, but that's exactly what we're here for as real estate investors. So I'm going to jump into the numbers, and I'll let Sean talk a little bit more about the vision of what the property could actually be. So this property is actually, the ARV is $1 million. So it's $1 million property. We see this as a 3-family buildup. So it can transition from what it is now to a 574 square foot place to a 3,000 square foot property as a 3-family. The as-is value, what we're asking is $475 for it right now. We expect the repair cost to be roughly $200,000. We do have the GC in place that's ready to go. That actually can come with the deal. We do have the architect in place. We're looking at about $200,000 for that repair price. This is 15 months, but I do want to jump into some more of the numbers here. 15 months hold time, total purchase and rehab, $675. Now, property taxes are actually very low in Brooklyn. We actually consider this very low in Brooklyn compared to other states and other cities. But $1,600, we're looking for your holding costs with water, electricity, about $400 a month in holding costs. Now, of course, there are other costs associated with it. We're looking at the estimated net profit is $249,000. And that's without the financing costs. So I didn't want to put in estimated finance costs because people have it in cash. Some people are going to private money there.
It's cutting out. Is that just on me or is that you
breaking
guys?
off.
I
You're
hear
breaking
off.
Rashawn, let him know that it's cutting off. Arnhem.
Not including your
He's probably talking through his headset.
Take your earphones out.
This actually is
Yo, Arnhem, can you hear me? Mic check. Mic check.
better map here.
Arnhem.
He's flowing, man. He's flowing.
Around it. So this area is prime for most, and this is one of the few family properties on. Of course,
Can you see?
Sean, call him.
I just called him.
Okay.
I'm calling him now.
Wait, who's doing the screen thing?
Arnhem is. I think he's listening now. Arnhem, it's cutting out big time.
We can't hear you. Your audio's cutting out.
Yeah, we can't hear you, bro.
Yeah, we can't hear you at all now. It's like completely silent.
His mic is probably not synced up.
Yeah, if you have a microphone synced up, try to disconnect it. That might help if you can hear us.
So that's the output he was on. He's got to look for the input, the mic. Somebody
all right,
screenshot
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
but
called the metaverse.
it's gonna freeze your computer. Once it reaches the end, it's gonna freeze your computer.
So I know I was going over this. I don't know how much you guys heard, but I'll just continue where I think you guys stopped me at.
Where
so
did we
this
last?
property?
What did we last year?
The beginning.
The very beginning.
So the last I heard was that it's 200,000 to add the additional 2,500 square feet and of space, and that was the play. That was kind of like what I last heard.
Family play.
Is this new construction?
Really...
I'm sorry.
Great. No, this will not
Is this...
be considered new construction. The way that we have it set up, which our attorneys advised us on, would be really to keep one wall. That could be the front, the back, or but keep one wall, and then you'll be able to build this up, not as a new construction, which will raise the taxes and have all types of backlash, but just keep one wall, and that would consider it existing bill.
That's like the hack. Keep one wall.
Yep,
absolutely.
That's the hack. All right. But the numbers really speak for themselves. That's why I like numbers. That's why I'm the numbers guy. Because once I put this together, it all just really sells itself. Estimated net profit. I don't know if you guys heard it, but I didn't put in calculate financing here because some people have cash, some people have private money, hard money. So I didn't put in the cost of financing, but everything else here is calculated for. And we're looking at about $250,000 in net profits.
All right.
All right.
So I'll go into the to the actual structure and the project itself. Currently, the property is a 576 square foot property. It's on a 20 by 100 square foot lot. The house itself is 18 by 32. So again, our play is to build on the existing FAR and the buildable square footage for the city. We could add an additional almost 2,500 square feet to bring the property to about 3,000 square feet. And bringing it to 3,000 square feet, you can make it a 3-unit property. And if you retrofit it correctly, you may even be able to convert it to condos at a later date. Now, the numbers that we have for construction are for you to build it out and hold it as a rental. These aren't, these costs are not estimated with high-end fixtures or anything. These are just basic Home Depot finishes and things like that. And again, we have our contractor who gave us the estimates available to be delivered along with the project, as well as our architect who will be delivered along with the project. And in the area there are several 3-family homes already, so you wouldn't be doing anything that's out of the ordinary for the neighborhood. And also, if you're familiar with the area, you'll know that Gateway Mall is about maybe a mile away. You're right there at the Belt Parkway. You're right there at Linden Boulevard. You're about maybe a mile away from Atlantic Avenue as well. You're right about maybe a 5-minute drive from the Brooklyn-Queens borderline, as well as the last stop on the number 3 train of New Lots Avenue is actually at the corner and to the right. So the location is prime as well. There is a housing project 2 blocks up from there, but luckily New York City has been selling their housing projects, and this is one of the projects that was recently sold to a private developer. So so a lot of the element of East New York that you may have a preconceived notion about is not even going to be there after a while. So by the time you get this project up and running and rented, you'll be able to charge top-notch rent.
I guess I'll start this off. Is there any reason why we would do Home Depot finishes versus, having a more modern finish with this end product here?
I just mentioned Home Depot finishes because, if as an investor, you can get some really nice looking products from Home Depot, and depending on how you for tile and flooring, for example, if you just lay the tile in a herringbone pattern as opposed to a brick pattern, or even in a straight line pattern, it's the same dollar tiles, but they just look a lot higher end.
Yeah. Go ahead, Elijah. You want to go first?
I just wanted to clarify. You guys are looking to assign this, correct? You're looking for a buyer to come in and purchase this?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
I
David.
have a quick question, if you
Yes.
don't mind.
Yeah.
I was just looking into this property a little bit. I see that it's listed on the MLS, and there's a pending offer at $330,000. Is that part of your group and what you're doing?
Yes, that's our contract. Now, one other thing I forgot to mention, I apologize, everyone. There is a squatter in the property. That's why we're able to get it for so low. However, we have an agreement with the squatter, cash for keys agreement, so that the day of closing, the property will be delivered vacant.
How much is it for sale for again?
$475, and as a part of that, we have to pay the squatter. We're doing a cash for keys agreement.
Okay. Yeah, and so I'm from Philadelphia, so I'm just gonna ask you some questions. One of the biggest problems is finding contractors, and so I don't know how it is in New York. Is everyone licensed and insured in New York, especially the guy that you're recommending?
That's the only way we work with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And do they have experience with building out? It's just one wall. It's pretty much new construction. Do they have experience prior?
Yes, they do. Yes.
A better question. Did you guys work with him before on stuff like this? Because my biggest problem with contractors is that, they're always good until you work with them. And then you're like, why am I working with them?
Well, this is a contractor that we've used on 2 other projects. We've used them on one where we did a full second floor extension, and another which was a project in which we wholesale, but we had to do some prehab if you will, clean out, removal of asbestos, and just basically gutting the property before we resold it.
Gotcha. Okay. So an extension, as in you add it to a house.
Yes.
So that
Correct.
requires footing and so foundation work up into walls and studs and everything, right?
Well, no, not that project. We did a dormer, a second floor addition.
Okay.
So, but
so you guys added from the second floor up.
correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. No, because I'm only asking because that way I know what he's familiar with doing.
Understandable. Well, that's what I've done with him. But again, the contractor, they've been in business now, I believe, over 10 years, and they've done larger projects like this.
Got it. Yeah, because my contract, he would cost a little bit more to do the cost of adding 2,500 square feet.
Yeah.
So for me, the cost would probably be like around 300,000 to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's $150 a square foot.
Okay.
Or a little bit less actually because it's 2,500 square feet. And your guy is doing it for 200,000, right?
Right. That was his initial estimate. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's cheaper than what I get in Philadelphia. That's cheap.
Hey.
Yeah.
It pays when you have your teammates working constantly.
Yeah, absolutely. That's our mission for our team is to have everybody continuously working so that they can get paid and they give us the best deals.
All right. So, David Zone, walk us through this. You being a lender, when you see a project like this, walk me through kind of what you're thinking. What kind of borrower would you be willing to lend on this? And do the numbers make sense based off your guys' criteria when it comes to lending?
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity to let me comment on this. I think the first thing I would want to know really is if this property is going to be built up and everything, we're going to be converting it to a 3-family. Is everything zoned? And if it's not zoned properly, how long is a variance going to take? That's one thing that I have to make sure is ready before I want to be able to give options. Because if the zoning is going to take 10 months and we call this a 15-month turnaround, you're holding on to 10 months of debt servicing that you're going to be paying the taxes and insurance and interest on when you haven't done anything with the property.
Okay.
So,
I'm sorry. Keep going.
please, yeah. No, please go on.
Okay.
I'd like to hear your feedback.
Yeah, with that, that's why we're including our architect along with that because he's already working on everything, making sure that all the paperwork is in the process of being filed. Because of course we can't file anything with the town yet, but so
right. So the plans have
survey
not
as
been
well.
approved. Yeah.
correct.
Okay. So
would
let's
you
say
would
No,
you be
Nick,
open
please.
to getting it subject to it getting approved?
Would you mind explaining a little bit more what the subject to?
Meaning kind of like because normally when you're selling something like this, there's a lot of things that we have to get approved so that
Correct.
we actually know we can even do what we want to do to actually get the values we want to get. So a security blanket in a way for us would be buying it subject to those approvals actually getting approved.
Okay.
Because a
that's
person
something-
right now is gonna have to buy it and then go through approval process, and then if they find out it doesn't work, it's kind of like they already bought it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know what to do now, or I gotta now sell it to fix whatever issue I fix because my plans aren't gonna work out.
Well,
These are just open questions, guys. We're not
Yeah.
I'm not trying to beat you up.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no. That's something that again we're a partnership, so that would be something that we would actually discuss and
Okay.
and we would get back to whoever is considering.
So then the next potential issue before I jump to all the good stuff would
Yes.
be with title, right? You have a squatter in there. The house looks a little run down. Obviously, getting the house at a premium. I don't want to say all the time, but I could say that it's more often than not you'll find title issues on this property before you could close it. And I'd like to see those title issues resolved. So is that something you and your team have investigated, and how can that be addressed?
I've been on the phone consistently with the attorneys to make sure that the title issues are rectified before we get to the closing table.
That's great. So, I mean, more my hats off to you for doing your due diligence on that end. I wasn't ever doubting you. It's just something for everybody else to, be aware of. So if I'm going to get into the deal investing myself, I'm going to just make sure it's going to be a kind of a smooth process, so to speak. So now on to the fun part, which is the numbers, right? We're talking about a 475 purchase, $200,000 in rehab, assuming that, permits in New York City aren't going to take hopefully that long. Permit office, hit or miss, depending on the relationships you have. And if you have somebody in the area that you work with, they could be in the office. Maybe they'll help you out a little bit. But with your profit estimator, you're not too far off from mine. And my thing really takes into consideration, the debt servicing, the whole time, any delays in the project. And we're pretty close in that area. I still think you're going to make $200,000 plus on this if you do it the right way. And so for somebody who wants to get financing on this, even though it's not considered a new construction, it's a very heavy rehab, and you're adding levels, which might as well be considered new construction in a sense. Nice thing is when we look at any types of deals, we look for like-minded experience. I would say no to a first-time investor on this, maybe even somebody on a second deal, but maybe the third deal around, we could maybe take a shot. That's not to say that I'm going to shy anybody away, because if you have the capital, maybe you have somebody on your team that has the construction experience, we could obviously make a case for you. And I'd say that, with a whole entire total project costs, we'd be somewhere probably 85 to 90% of the total project costs, which is very fair market value, if you ask my opinion.
I have a David for you. David, I have a question for you. So he said that it comes with a contractor that's experienced. Would that count?
That's a great question. So we could take the contractor's experience into the account if they were to sign on as a co-guarantor of the deal, right? A lot of investors work with good contractors. The problem is with a good contractor is that they could be so good, maybe they're not getting paid the way that they want to, and they just pick up and leave tomorrow. They could pick up and leave overnight and just take all their stuff with them. And there's nothing that's actually tying them to finishing the deal. When you're personally responsible for a deal, you're putting your own skin in the game. You have a will to finish. If the contractor was on the deal, they have a will to finish now, and we could use their experience for sure.
Got it.
Yeah, the architect also plays a huge role in getting this deal done, especially with the city, the permits. So the architect is really one of our major keys in getting this deal in place for an investor, whoever wants to come in and get this deal.
Yeah, I'm just speaking as an investor. Like usually when I buy properties, it's kind of like what Nick's saying. If you have someone that is, like you said, your architect's really good and they have connections with the city or whatever. For me as an investor, I would just say, yeah, I'll buy it contingent upon, because you said it would be a 3-family. It would be a triplex pretty much, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's in Philly. That's not easy to do, even though, and it takes time. So I would like to see that paperwork from the architect. And that usually makes the sale a lot easier. It makes me more comfortable because now I can come in, put my money down and see work being done, because waiting is no fun.
Right. And that's why we're actually working on this survey right now, the architect survey, just so that we can guarantee what you're asking, what Nick was asking about, what about holding the property for a long time and the deal doesn't do what we expect it to do. That's why we're getting these surveys and making sure that we can actually proceed with the 3-family versus turning to a 2-family or 1-family. So that is in the works as we speak.
And then there was one question I saw from Steve Velez commented, said, what LTV would you offer on the refi? That really comes down to the experience and credit, the time held on the deal. But if you're just looking for a refinance of the current loan that's on there, and you just want to make sure that you have a clean slate going forward with a low interest rate, go up to 80%. If you want to take cash out, you might have to hold the property with tenants for a couple months, but we could even do 75% on the appraised value at that point.
Dave, what about the refi as a finished product? Because I think that's what he's really asking.
That's actually exactly what I'm referring to on the finished product. So let's say you didn't want to wait. You had an interest rate, you were paying X amount of dollars a month and that was too high for you. Let's cut that in half, right? Let's get you the rate and term refinance the current loan. You don't take any cash out, but you're leaving equity in the deal, right? We could take up to 80% of the total work done. So let's say there's $1 million and work done, we could do a refinance up to $800,000. Now, let's say in a year after the work is done, you already have everything in place. You have the tenants there. They're all paying. They're all good on time. We could look at a cash out refinance at the future value. Maybe it's $1 million. Maybe it's $1.5 million. And we could do up to 75% of cash out. That in a chance paying off the first position of the loan and then getting some cash in your pocket. And I don't know if everybody knows here, but if you're looking at a cash out refinance, that cash is actually debt and it's not taxable.
Dave, let me make sure I got this clear. So when you were doing the first refi, it was based on what you put in, dollar for dollar, or is it based on what it's worth once it's done?
So the rate and term will be dollar for dollar what you put in,
Okay.
right? If you want to cash out, you have to season the property a little bit.
Okay.
And in the numbers, I just point out that put a sale in there, but this is really a buy and hold play for the property, since you're getting it at a very low area, very low price, as well as the area is great with the project really being purchased by a private equity firm who will be reinvesting and making sure rents go up in the area. So this is a great long-term play. So I wouldn't recommend for an investor, whoever's buying it, to buy it as a flip, but buy it rather to hold. Although they could do whatever they choose.
How many square feet is this property right now? It's 500, right?
576.
576. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it rentable right in as is condition right now?
No, the squatter's been in there for quite a while. It smells like you don't even want to know. It needs.
So would you
total
tear it
gut
down?
Rehab.
And then
No,
keep that
we
one
would
wall?
not tear it down because. But Sean, you can answer that question a little bit better.
Okay. Yeah. With the construction loans, as David can attest to, if you do a full tear down rebuild, it's going to be a lot more expensive. You have to put a lot more skin in the game. But if you leave an existing structure wall up, then it's a major reconstruction loan as opposed to a full tear down rebuild loan. So as opposed to doing a 30% down, you may be able to do a 10% down.
Got it. Thank you, guys.
All right. I guess they can email your email, Arnhem.
Correct. Arnhem at Block Builder Properties. Contact us at Block Builder Properties, or call us. My contact information was on the screen, my phone number, but email works just fine.
Someone says, can you put the deal? Just email him, Steve. If you guys want to see the deal again or the address, take a picture of his email right now before they leave, and shoot him an email. He could send you. You can send them all the details, schedule walkthroughs or whatever, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody who contacts me, I'll be happy to put in an email, send them the property details.
All right. Wonderful. All right, guys. Thanks. Yes.
Before we go, I just want to thank everyone for their time. Nick, Elijah, David, and I'm sorry, I forgot.
David as well.
David's.
You didn't make a mistake. You hit them both with that name.
All right. On behalf of our company, I just want to say thank you all so much for your time, and we look forward to doing business with you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, guys.
Take care. Bye.
You too. Let me see, Elijah. I don't think we're gonna have time for your deal.
It's all right. Bring Nicole in.
Bring Nicole in. Okay.
And I'll just speak on mine briefly while she comes in. For anyone who's how are you?
Never fast enough.
Mine won't take that long, Elijah. We may be able to put both of ours in.
No, we're gonna take as much time as we need to take. We're in no rush around here.
Okay.
By the way, this thing shuts off in 10 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna share my screen then real quick. Can you see it?
No, not yet.
It
I got it.
Got it?
Waiting on Nick. Here we go.
So the deal is land. It's this land right in between the two houses. This is in Woodbury, New Jersey, in the county of Gloucester. I hope I'm saying that right because I'm new. It has a garage on it, and it's cleaned land. Like she cleaned it all out. She took the previous house's foundation and had the whole land cleaned and spent like 38,000. So now she's selling it for 28,000. This is my client. I happen to be looking at a 2-family across the street, and I saw the land. I wasn't sure which the for sale sign was on, the land or the house, and she started to tell me all about the neighborhood, that it was a nice neighborhood, that the neighbors are very friendly and look out for each other. So you could see the taxes are $765 a year.
Cheap.
And what?
Cheap taxes.
Yeah, and when I called up for zoning, they said it was an R15 zoning, which is a single family house. So this I pulled up was the zoning rules, and it actually, I don't know if I'm reading this, you guys probably know more than I do. It was saying for every single or 2-family. The house across was a 2-family, so I'm not 100% sure. They told me it was a single family dwelling when I called, but this is what the zoning says here, and it also says that you could get a special exception from the zoning board, because I would think you could build a 2-family here, but you'd have to look more into that. So this is 28,000, and it's lands in Gloucester. It's Woodbury, New Jersey.
I have a friend. He's flipping a lot of houses there. He loves that market.
Yeah, I love it too. I put in a couple of bids on 2 families and a business with an apartment, and I haven't gotten any because of the market. Like it's just, things fly off like hot potatoes.
Yeah, no, that's true. So for this, are you seeing like what do you see as the opportunity here? Like what do you think for someone who wants to buy this? What do you think like the game plan needs to be for them with this deal?
I think it would have to be a builder, somebody who knows how to take those steps to build a property and deal with zoning boards. This is not something I'm familiar with. I'm just the agent on this. And I would go and build a 2-family if that was possible. If not, I would do the single family and rent it. The market over there is about $1,100 a month for a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom.
Rent wise, okay.
Rent wise, yeah.
So let's figure this out.
What's the ARV on these properties? Like, what's
Yeah.
the property worth?
Okay, so I looked up Zillow for the zip codes, and this is not the zip code, but over here is, so this one is 280,000, and they range. Same zip code, 275. I think this is about the biggest. It'd probably be about 1,200 square feet for the house.
Are these singles or twos?
These are singles.
Okay.
So this is 140,000, 125,000. I wouldn't go probably bigger than 1,200 square feet for that property.
Yeah, but these are in different towns, aren't they?
Well, the only thing I could do is look up their zip codes, right? So the zip code here, this is the same, but it's a little bit bigger. And you can see it has a lot more land space.
There are much different sides of Woodbury. I know Woodbury is kind of like its own little neighborhood.
Well, you could probably tell me more than, like I'm not familiar that much with New Jersey. I'm new out here. Yeah, so I try. Like I just liked Gloucester because I found so many businesses for under 200 with the apartment on it. I feel like you could invest in it and be able to make rents and make some cash flow. And it just happened that I said, well, is this the house or the land for sale? And she was like, oh, it's land. And she started to give me a whole bunch of information on the area. And I was like, well, it would be great to get this apartment across the street. And they didn't accept my bid. So she goes, if you want to list it, you could just list it. And I was like, yeah. But I think about buying it myself, but I don't know, maybe down the road if I can't sell it, I'll purchase it myself. But I have to look into what it would cost to even build because I'm not familiar with that.
We got all the building costs for you in Jersey.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look here what we got. So in terms of duplexes, there's nine properties that sold within the past 180 days. Let's go 200. David, you're the lender. What's a good time frame back for an appraisal? What would you say in today's market?
For a 2-family, I would say about 10 days.
10 days?
Some are moving slower, some moving fast. Let's say 10 days from the day after we order. So 11 days.
No, I'm
11
sorry.
days from right
Forgive me. When you're looking at comps, like how far back will you go to look at comps?
Oh, comps. I would say the recent 3 months would be fair, and 6 months is a stretch.
All right, let's do 6 months just because there's not really that much activity here. All right, let's see what we got. So we got a one duplex here in Woodbury. This sold for 152. Next one sold for 170. Next one sold for 186. Next one sold for 210. Next one sold for 210. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing 170 to 200 as like the ARV.
For a 2-family, right?
Yeah, there's even a few more at 210. So
you could look up a zoning R15. I just did really quick. I saw it's permitted up to 8 units as a multifamily. So this could be a 2-family. Hypothetically speaking, I'm not that well versed on the zoning requirements. That would be something that your everyday investor would probably want to look into a little bit further. But granted, we're able to get the zoning in check. The plans are okay. If you were able to build on this, how much would you spend on a new build for this, Nick?
I don't think it makes sense.
I think the $150 a square foot, 125 low, 150 square foot high.
Mm-hmm.
So 1,000 square foot, that's going to be 150 grand. Two unit for a 2-family, that's going to be 250 to 300,000.
Yeah.
I think this is an area where, because I don't think you see a lot of new constructions around here, and if they are, it's probably mostly single families.
Yeah, there's not even that many new constructions like at all.
Right. So I think the numbers are too low to do new construction. It's kind of like an area where you're supposed to just buy right? Buy for the right price of pre-existing properties, and those properties that are being sold are probably being sold at a price that's cheaper than it is to build it. So this is kind of like back in 2008 when the market just crashed for the rest of the United States, and you can buy stuff for cheaper than the cost of building. And then as time went by, the market transformed, appreciated, normalized to what it is today or a few years ago. And, the areas that are supposed to be high in value became back to high in value. And the areas that are low in value, they stay the same. I think Gloucester is an area that's kind of like, it was never, this is Gloucester, the town or the county?
No, that's the county. The actual city is Woodbury.
Okay, I don't know anything about Woodbury. But it seems like the prices in this area never really went up. And it never also really went down. And if it did, it probably went down a little bit. And because of that, so for it to go up and down, it's not a big variance. But it doesn't seem like new construction would actually make sense. Because if you do put one, you'll probably be the only one. And what are 2 families comping out for, Elijah?
210 at the high.
Yeah, so it'll cost you more to build one.
Nicole, question: how big's the lot here?
I just looked at it. Oh my God, I have no memory. I'm sorry.
You're doing
6,500 square feet.
So 60. What is that? 65 by 100?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is how I would sell this deal. There's let me see. All right. So there's one closed property within the last year that was land. It was a 50 by 186 lot size. So I'm pretty sure that's a little bigger. Is my math right with that? Yeah, it is. Right? 50 by 186. That's a little bit bigger. This one sold for $29,000 and it was sold cash. So what I would do is I would call up the agent that sold this and I would tell them, hey, I got a lot close to this one and we need to close like ASAP. Is your buyer interested in buying another lot? And the address on this one is 608 Salem Avenue in Woodbury, New Jersey.
Thank you.
So I got some pointers that I want to share. First of all, Elijah, you should buy it. Your name's all written all over it. It says Barber Ave on it.
No, is that the one that sold? That was the one that sold, right?
No, this is E-Bar.
Wait, is this the one for sale or the one that sold?
This is the one for sale.
For sale.
Oh. Yeah, so one of the things I would do in this situation is I would talk to the owner and see if you work out a deal with them where they would sell or finance it, right? And if you can sell or finance it, maybe pay $100, $200, and a month, and now you can own this piece of land if you really want it. Another thing I would also do is look and see if you can rent that garage and get $200 from it.
That's
That way
what
you get a free piece of property. That's it. That's what I would do.
Yeah,
I
'cause the
was-
land's not desirable here.
I was thinking if I had this land, I would do haunted houses on it and farmer markets.
Nah, don't do that. You'll lose. It's. I mean, you know, it's like you'll put deals in a contract or you'll get listings and you think it's like the best thing in the world for you. It's at times it's not. You gotta look at the market and you gotta buy right based on the market. Yes, you can make it into a 2-family there, but Nicole, you can probably buy a fully renovated, fully already done 2-family, even though they're worth 200,000. You can probably buy it for 120,000, already done for you. You know, and then put in 20, 30,000 to renovate it to make it worth really 200, and then refi with David, so that way you get all your money out, you own the property with no money tied into it, and you're making cash flow.
David, do you do commercial loans for business?
Only if there's a 50% or greater residential aspect to it.
Okay. It's not.
If you need any other types of financing, you could always email me and I could connect you with the right people.
Okay.
All right. Well, we got a few options on this one. You can somehow try and sell or finance it and rent out the garage and probably break even. The farmers markets on there would be pretty dope, but I don't know how popular those would be in Woodbury. But yeah, and then I would also call up that comp that I gave you, and I would see if their buyers want another piece of land because you have something right around the block that definitely could work out as well, just to get it off the books and keep deals moving. You know.
I appreciate that. That's great.
Yeah,
Shout
Nicole,
out to Elijah.
I wouldn't recommend you buy it though, Nicole, because a lot of times when you see the price, you think it's cheap. With the same amount of money, you could buy something performing, and it's easier to collect rent.
So let me ask you, because I'm gonna have like 50,000 to invest soon, and I'm not really sure where I should go with this. I guess if you guys find a deal where I could invest my money that would have renters and cash flow immediately, if you guys can reach out to me.
That we actually did have a deal like that, but Elijah ran out of time.
Yeah, just email me, Nicole, and I can give you guidance on what to invest safely. This is not a good deal where you get a return on.
Okay, awesome.
But by the way, like, yeah, the game is not about price. Like, what I mean is, like, I used to think like, oh, I should invest in Detroit because the houses there at that time when I first started was like $10,000-$20,000, and I'm like, wow, that's a steal, you know. But if the market value was $10,000-$20,000, I'm in essence spending 100% to the dollar to buy that property, you know, or to invest in that property. So it's cheap, but it's not necessarily a deal. The whole business is investing in deals, you know? And so because of that, what is a deal? A deal is whatever you always have to figure out what the value of the area is for that kind of asset and buy at a fraction of that price. So that way, if you don't like it, you can sell it and still make money.
Well, thank you so much.
Anytime, Nicole. Thank you for sharing.
Yep.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming on.
Thanks, Nicole.
See you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right,
guys. You wrapping this up?
No, you wrap it up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for coming on today's call. By the way, real quick, I do have a 4-family in Jersey City. If you're interested in doing any business in Jersey City, definitely shoot me an email. I could share with you some details on that. But with that being said, I want to appreciate you guys so much for coming out. If you learned something from today's call, if you had one even little bitty ounce of fun today, or you learned a new piece of information, or you had one of those aha moments, please do us a huge favor. Like the Facebook group, like the YouTube channel, subscribe, and share this with a friend. We do these free events here online. And the way that you guys can help us in return is just continue sharing the group to your friends, help the community grow. And, you know, more than anything, none of us can survive if we're doing this free stuff all the time. We got to do some deals together, baby. Okay, we got to do some
Gotta
deals
make money.
together. So
Yeah.
reach out to David for your funding. Reach out to David Tran to, get into the Philadelphia markets. If you guys are investing in the Jersey markets, start connecting with me. Like, let's start a new way of networking, and that's being active, right? Looking at deals together, running numbers together, making the calls that we need to make, because 2022 is going to be incredibly insane when we all put our minds together, we put our hearts together, and we get some good work done. So appreciate you guys for coming on. Like, subscribe, share this with a friend. And with that being said, we are out, and we'll see you guys real soon. Say peace, guys.
Thank you guys.
Later,
Good night.
guys.
See ya.
We get 4 pounds. Like, is that possible?
Yeah, boom.
Is that
In
a
the
pound?
middle.
Is that-
Everybody in the
I was trying to like get all the corners into one. I don't know
Right.
if that's
I'm
right.
right
Elijah
here.
didn't participate. Elijah showed his
You gotta
watch.
go.
Oh, I see. Got it.
That's a pound.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
There
Gotcha.
you go.
Is that
Good
10K
job.
gold? Is that 10K gold, David? What is that?
Don't worry
That's a
about
wedding.
that, man.
It's the wedding ring.
All right. Good night, guys. Thanks so much.
Good night.
You guys are awesome. Thanks a lot.
Why are you still on, Elijah?
Why is it still live? Why don't you cancel the live?